Okay. Hello, friends. My name is Manakshi Rathor. I'm from C2B Coach. I'm in IT profession since last 14 years, and I'm very interested in alternate therapies and esoteric studies, which led me to meet you all today and Navneesh. And Navneesh is a holistic healer, and she's working in the field of physical and mental well-being since last 5 years. And she practices various therapeutic modalities like inner child work, family constellation, creative expression, and healing with nature. And I have personally experienced her healing magic. So I welcome you all to share her wisdom and energy on our topic today, abundance. Welcome, Navneesh.
Thank you, Meenakshi. That's
Thank you
very
so much for taking out time on Sunday evening.
most welcome, most welcome. And like I told you last time, it's more of a homely interaction with you because you make me feel so comfortable and at ease. So it's more like, few friends have gathered and it's like a homely get together for me. So I'm very happy. And some of my very close friends are also here. So I'm very excited. Yes. So if we like, maybe we can take a comfortable position and just stay in silence for a minute before we begin. So if you'd like, you can also close your eyes and just bring your attention to your breath. Become aware of the natural flow of your breath. Just for next 10 seconds, allow your thinking mind to relax and be fully present with the current experience. Become aware of all the sounds that you hear in the background. The most distant sounds, the sounds that are close by. Slowly move your attention to your body and become aware of the inner space of your body. How does my body feel from the inside? You don't have to visualize anything, simply notice your body. If you feel any kind of tightness or relaxation in the body, simply welcome it. Without trying to fix it or change it in any way. Allow every cell of your body to relax, just a little bit. Let go, just a little. There's nowhere to go, nowhere else to be. Except right here, right now. For next 10 seconds, simply be. Simply be. And ask yourself, in this moment, what am I grateful for? In this precise moment, what is it that I'm really grateful and thankful for? And let the answer simply emerge. And whenever you feel ready, whenever you feel centered, very slowly, very gently, returning back in this space, keeping this feeling that has emerged of gratitude alive. Very gently, you may open your eyes. Thank you. Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to have all of you here with us for today's session. So let me begin sharing by what we see as abundance. Conventionally, many of us perceive abundance as, how much do I have? The muchness. I have this, I have a car, I have a house, and that's abundance. Conventionally, we see that as abundance. Or how much more do I have? I have a car, I have a bigger car, and then a grander car. Usually, in our outer worldly life, that is perceived as abundance. But there is an example which is a fact that we see in our daily living, where there is a section of people in this world who are extremely rich, very, very wealthy. All their desires are so easily met. Yet in their heart, they feel scarcity. They feel, I'm poor from inside. And then there are a group of people who are financially not so well off, yet there are internal realities of richness. They feel so full of life. Now, both the realities are existing. This polarity is there in our reality. So what does abundance really mean then? Is it just having things, or is it my state of being? Because no matter how much I have, I still can fail to feel rich. So let's understand what abundance is not. Abundance is not what you do or what you don't do, what you have or what you don't have. It's simple. You are, therefore abundance is. You exist, therefore there is abundance. Without you, there is no abundance. There is no experience of abundance. You know, Osho had once shared that what is the point of having 1 million or 10 million flowers? What's the point of having so many birds? Wouldn't it be okay if there was one flower? We could do with one rose, right, on this planet. What is the need of having millions of roses? What is the need of having billions of birds? Even marine biologists, when they do the research, if 3 generations of marine biologists would have to, discover the oceanic life, they would fail to do so because there is so much, more than enough available. And we, all of us, are part of this nature. There is no difference. There's no separation between Cynthia and the rose. She is the rose. Yet, we feel a sense of deprivation. Life is holding something back from me. We still feel I'm not enough. I don't have enough. Wouldn't it be nice to have a loving spouse? Wouldn't it be nice to have, more space in my house? So really, why do we feel this lack? Where is it coming from? When we were growing up as children, many things were shared. A lot of conditioning happened at that time. Some of them said, you need to work hard to get what you want. Money doesn't grow on trees. पैसे झाड़ पे नहीं उगते. जितनी चादर उतने पैर फैलाओ. What were these things? Why were these things shared with us? Out of self-preservation, we wanted to feel safe. The need to survive in this world is our primary need. It's an animal instinct that I want to protect myself. I want to feel secure. That's why we look for relationships where we see security. That's why we look for a home where we feel it's safe. But we don't need to operate from that scarcity anymore. We can choose to make a shift, and it's not the external shift, it's an inner shift. In India, we have a goddess called Saraswati, and she plays this veena, this beautiful instrument, and it has these strings attached. And now if the strings of this instrument, if they're too tight, would you be able to play music? No. If they are too loose, the strings of the veena, no music would be able to, take place through that. But when they're perfectly tuned, when the sitar or when the veena, the strings are fine-tuned, music flows by default. It's a natural outcome. And so I will not teach abundance because we are abundance. There's nothing to learn. It's only fine-tuning this instrument, our being, to that which we already know. It's nothing new. So these 7 foundational laws that I'll be sharing about abundance, these are universal truths. These 7 laws were shared by one of my dear friend and teacher, Sujit Ravindran. And he holds a very dear space in my heart. He's my teacher. And he shared so beautifully that these 7 laws that were channeled by him, there are no copyrights. This wisdom has existed for centuries. We are merely passing it down. I received it from him. I'm sharing today. Tomorrow you will pass it down in your life. So even if we can, embody one of these 7 laws of abundance, it'll be enough. So let me begin by sharing the first law of abundance. And the first law says the law of exchange. Everything in the universe is operating on giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. Today I'm in the space of giving, you are receiving. The birds that are chirping are giving and I am receiving. even as small as a hello, you know, is about giving and receiving. So, how is my relationship with giving and receiving? When I give, am I giving because my heart thrives to give out of the joy, pure joy of giving? Or am I giving out of obligation to give? Am I giving because it is my duty to give? Many people, especially in India, many mothers feel, you know, it's my duty to do this. It's my duty. And when you do anything out of obligation, you really lose the essence. So, you know, children, you know, my nephews and nieces, they would very lovingly, share their chocolates with me. They would be like, you know, all of them were sitting in the living room and they were like, all of them were having toffees. And I said, you know, wow, even I want to have. All of them went running to their mom and they're like, oh, Navneesh Masi wants chocolates. So they bought so many chocolates for me. So that is, children want to give you, you know, always they're in this giving spree. And they're also a beautiful example when it comes to receiving. How many times have we received fully? You know, all of us are great givers in our life. We give constantly, go on giving. How many times do we fully receive? You know, when I say, Rajashri, I love your kurta. You look so beautiful today. You know, how many times can we receive that compliment fully and say thank you? Instantly what happens, oh, you also look really nice today. Or, you know, no, this is a very old kurta. And, you know, we start coming up with all of these things. Instead of receiving that compliment fully, we will try to, you know, play around. If you receive an invitation from a friend, you know, I'd like you to come over for dinner, Ratna. And, you know, you'd be like, wow, you know, she invited me for dinner. But instantly we start calculating, oh, next time I have to call her back home, you know, let me call her for lunch. Children don't operate in calculating. They don't have inner calculations. They say, I want chocolate. They take chocolate and they're gone. They don't even say thank you. They, you know, it's how they are designed. If my mother gives me cookies today, tomorrow the child doesn't do inner engineering and say, oh, that means in return, I have to now press her feet. No. They
Sorry to
receive with
interrupt,
fullness.
Navneesh.
Yeah.
I have one request for you and everyone. We may disconnect from the session, so I have shared the link in the chat. Could you please save that link? If we get disconnected, please use that link to join back.
Has everybody saved the link in case? So
Hey, I can go back to the mail and join back, right?
No, please save this link.
Oh, okay. Done. I've already saved it, of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. I hope everybody saved this link, which I shared in the chat. Please continue, Navneesh. Sorry to bother you.
No problem. So coming back to giving and receiving. Yes. You know, I'm reminded of Buddha, Lord Buddha, when he was recognized as a great master and he had millions of followers by then. Even then, he went with his bowl begging from door to door to every villager's house for food. You know why he did that? It's because we need to also understand that till the time we don't ask, we will never receive. Today, Meenakshi asked, hey Navneesh, would you like to hold space for this conversation? And so this has come to fruition. Without asking, how would the universe know that that is our need? So Buddha went door to door silently with his bowl, Whether he received a yes or a no, that was okay. It didn't matter. But he asked for food. And he knew the law of the universe. He operated from the law of the universe because he knew that all his needs will by default be met. And why he did that was also for the other person to practice generosity. When I ask something, I give the other person an opportunity to be at service. And that is the highest attribute of life, to be at service. You know? When we volunteer, when we help someone, my mom made prasad during Ganpati, sweets, and she gave it to Dr. Rahul and everybody in our clinic. She told me, Navneesh, I've never felt so good. I said, why are you feeling so good? He said, because I get an opportunity to serve and create. Wow. That comes from being at service. So practicing generosity. How can I be of service today? So these are, and how can I receive like a child? So this is about law 1, which says the law of exchange. If in my life, either giving stops or receiving stops, the flow of abundance will pause. The flow of abundance will stop functioning, whether giving stops or receiving stops. Both are equally needed. I cannot go on giving without receiving. I cannot go on receiving without giving. Both are needed. So that is our first law. Then we'll move to our second law of abundance, which is law of echo, also known as law of resonance. It says, who you are is what you get, not what you want. I'll repeat it again. Who you are is what you get, not what you want. And what it really means is, how many times do we say, when I get this, then I will be happy. When I get a loving relationship, then my life will be so full of bliss. Always we are focusing on an outcome which is in the future, projecting a happiness. When this happens, that's human conditioning, that's human nature. So law of echo says, first I have to embody that inner state, inner feeling of abundance. Only then my outer reality will shift. Only then I will, if you feel I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy, even that will be a part of law of echo. So universe will bring experiences to you that will validate that I'm not worthy. And when I tune in and change my inner state, because my inner state is 100% in my control. If I'm full of love right now, then by default, universe will bring experiences that validate love, that reinforce love. A child might come and give me a hug. My mother might cook something nice for me. And then there is abundance in all these little things. So who am I choosing to be in my daily living? From what state? Meenakshi had asked me this question that, but how do we embody law of echo? There's this big, if I give you this spoon full of salt, I told Meenakshi, and if I ask you to put that heap full of salt in a glass of water and dissolve it, and then you drink it, will you be able to drink it? Is it possible for anybody to drink that water with a big heap of salt? No. Now I take that same heap of salt and I put it in a bucket full of water. Is it possible for us to drink that water? Maybe, yeah, seems okay. Now that same heap of spoon, I put it in a lake, a bigger body. Yeah, doesn't matter. That salt is almost gone. And that same salt, if I put it in an ocean or a sea, will I be able to drink that water? Oh, definitely. It really doesn't matter. Now that salt is our complaining, our lack. I don't have this, I don't have that. And that ocean is what I already have. So when my focus is on the ocean, on the abundance, then, it doesn't matter if there are a few granules of salt here and there. Because whatever I will focus on will start expanding in my life. It'll start, reciprocating. Ripple effects will be created based on where my energy is going. So that is how we can practice. And another beautiful, beautiful practice is of a lotus of gratitude. One of my dear friend Nitya had shared it. All of us can do this. This is like you have buds, lotus buds, and every time you open one petal, you think of something that you're really grateful for. Yeah? And internally you say, thank you, thank you. So you can do it with me. Just think of those memories where you felt immense joy. Things where you felt, I have so much. The friendships, the relationships. Re-experience that. Your happiest memories. In this moment, I'm alive. Thank you. Every time you open a petal, thank you. Thank you. And whenever all your petals are open, you place them on your heart. Keep saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful.
I instantly feel happy, when I place my hands on my heart.
How many times do we touch our heart and feel its heartbeats? The fact that, I have fingers right now, I have a face. Imagine if I had only one eye, or if I had like no fingers, how difficult will it be, to operate? There's so many things that, we don't notice that are always existing around us in abundance. And, I'd like to share one experience. It happened like in this month with me, where this client came to me and she said, Navneesh, I don't have great relationships and I'm broke, basically. I don't have money. And I feel so, completely entangled in her victimhood. And after 2 or 3 sessions, she called me up and she said, Navneesh, miracles are happening in my life. I said, what do you mean by that? Can you help me understand? What do you mean by miracles are happening? She said that I received an opportunity, a job opportunity after years of no job with a pay of 60,000 rupees. A friend called me whom I was not in touch with at least for a year or so, and we connected. And she shared that, for the first time, someone reciprocated by paying 10,000 rupees to me for the healing sessions that I offered. And my quality of healing has completely changed. I said, oh, wow, how amazing is that? And I asked her, what happened in these 10 days? Can you help me understand? What was different that all of this came to you? She said, the only thing that happened was I stopped fighting with my reality. I stopped resisting my unemployment. She said, I embraced my unemployment. I embraced my anger. And in doing so, there was a sense of easiness, no fighting with her current circumstance. She settled in with where she was, and she started noticing oh, this bird has come in my window and she's chirping and singing this beautiful melody. You know, for Lord Krishna, she bought a jhula home for Janmashtami. So she started focusing on what is it, you know, the beauty of life, little things that reinforce beauty. And by default, her experience began changing. She was the highest expression or the practitioner of law of echo. You change your inner reality and then it happens by default. And whether the outer reality changes or not, it simply doesn't matter because my inner reality is so much at ease. I'm so much at a sense of comfortableness with myself and my reality. So that is about law of echo. I hope it's making sense to you. Wonderful. So we'll now smoothly move towards law 3, which is law of detachment. And I am practicing this also. I am also in my journey of practicing detachment. What it says is that how many times do we come across people who work 9 to 5 for a month just for the paycheck? The outcome, the paycheck. And maybe they're just dragging themselves throughout the month, but in the end, they get that paycheck, right? So what law of detachment says is that what I receive is proportional to my level of detachment with the outcome. What I receive from the universe is proportional to how detached I am from the outcome. Today we are having this session. If we are constantly in the worry that, you know, these people need to absorb this, and they need to feel that this is a great session, we lose the joy of this celebration. You know, if there is an outcome, if I'm attached to an outcome that, you know, Ratnabali's life should be changed after this session, then I will be disappointed because there is a possibility it might, and there is a possibility it might not. If I'm constantly worried for the outcome, then I miss really connecting with her in this moment. Then I miss my heart-to-heart connection. If there's always, I need to get something out of this, then I lose the joy of this celebration. And how many times do we get so entangled, attached to our roles that we play? The role of motherhood, the role of a wife, the role of an employee. You know, we are attached. We take it so seriously. You know, I'm a therapist. Oh, so serious. You know, what happens is that we lose our childlike ability to play. You know, as children, we used to play teacher, we used to play ghar, we used to play doctor. And we used to have so much fun doing that, you know. These roles were played with great glory, great excitement. And then another role, and we used to switch, another game, new play. But now we don't perceive our jobs as play anymore. You know, we make it a part of our identity. It hits us, you know. Our egoic self is so big that we take it personally. You know, if my son doesn't score well, then it's a personal attack. You know, personal attack to my motherhood. Somewhere I failed to be a great mother. That is because of my attachment. I cannot possess anybody, especially in relationships. I cannot possess my husband. I cannot possess my career. The minute I try to control, it'll slip out. That love will slip out from my hand. The minute I try to, you know, sand, like, you know, we hold sand, the tighter we hold sand in our hand, it'll start slipping. So that is the practice of detachment from outcome. You know, today Meenakshi and I are playing this flow of abundance game, and we send this invitation, and my job and Meenakshi's job was done there and there. And these beautiful, beautiful friends said, hey, let's join this game today. And so we are here. and we are playing right now, and we're having fun with it, and that's it. And beyond that, I don't know. If you if you even absorb 1% of this conversation, it's enough. If you don't, then that's perfect. If you feel how boring, I just don't want to listen to Navneesh, perfect. If you say, oh wow, I really enjoy listening to her, great. That does not stop me from my expression of joy, my expression of being at service. It'll go on. The flow will take place. So that is about practicing detachment. And I am in the same boat, and I am also practicing this. So it takes time, it's not instantly that this law was taught. In daily living, in small things, we tend to take things seriously. How about we create lightness around it? That it's not so tight, it's light. So this is about law of detachment. Now the fourth law is about law of exponentiality. So what does this exponentiality mean? Universe operates in terms of exponential. For example, when you go to a shopkeeper and you ask, can I have a toothpaste? Yeah, you can. You take the toothpaste, you pay 50 rupees. That is transaction in linearity, giving and receiving. But universe operates differently. If I give you 1, I'm bound to receive 10. If I choose to give from my heart 100, I'm bound to receive 1,000. It's exponential. Linear steps would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exponential steps will be 1, 2,000, 7,000, 1 million. That's how the universe operates. And how do we practice? We understand, okay, fine, universe operates in exponentiality, great, good job. How do I implement this in my daily life? How do I practice? How do I make it more experiential? So my teacher said that everything is seen as sacred. In shamanism, a plant is sacred. A fellow human being is sacred. Treat all your actions as sacred. Treat all your actions as sacred. No matter how big, no matter how small. Even if I'm giving a glass of water to my mother, then there is sacredness in that. In India, there is something called as namaste. When we join our hands and we bow down and we greet you. What are we trying to learn from this? That when I join my hands and I bow down to you, it means something in me honors the sacredness in you. And when you do that, I honor the sacredness of you. Any small act, even eating food for that matter, is act of sacredness. You smile at a stranger, you feel it's just a smile, but there's so much sacredness in that smile. He would have received that smile and smiled at 10 people more. And those 10 people must have smiled at 100 people more. Now, one smile really impacted, it became a movement. It became a global movement. Your one small act. Sometimes I used to feel that, why am I writing posts on Facebook and why am I sharing all these things? Who is it reaching out to anyway? What's the point of doing it? Later, much later, when I met someone at a conference, not knowing so well, he said, whatever you share, I've made notes in my diary. I'm writing them down because somewhere they're touching me. And I said, really? Like, did that happen? We undervalue our worth. We feel, maybe we're not good enough. But you are existing, and that is the sign of sacredness. That is a symbol of divinity, because you are alive. can I fully embody my divinity? Can I embrace my bigness without worrying, without inner engineering, without calculating, you know, will I be accepted if I come out in my bigness or not? This was my fear, you know. I always had this thing that if I shine too bright, if I come out, maybe I will be judged. Maybe people will not like me. Many friends will reject me. You know, this was my fear. And I had to take baby steps to uncondition this belief that no, you know, there will be 3 people who will see me, and that will be enough. And even if those 3 people don't see me, you know, when I come out in my own sacredness, I can see myself. This today's session is not only for you, it is for me. It is for me to hear me. It is for me to see me through you. So this is the beauty of, you know, understanding and valuing our own sacredness, and to seeing that there's so much goodness in life. There's so much goodness. We all are thriving on goodness. Everybody wants to operate on goodness. You know, Meenakshi had shared this story. Meenakshi, would you like to share about how you were reversing and this, you know, you go ahead and share how you felt about that, about the support you
Yeah.
received.
Actually, you know, I recently learned driving. So I am in Delhi, and Delhi is famous for road rage and all the kind of accidents or incidents on road here. So when I started driving on road, I thought, you know, people are not that bad. Whenever I was stuck on the crossing, and you know, reversing was a challenge for me. So one day I was reversing, I was coming from a market, I was reversing. So there was one car behind me and one was in front of me. And I was reversing and they stood there. And it took me, I think, more than 5 minutes. I think 10 minutes I was there reversing, adjusting, and, you know, taking a turn and trying to go on my way. And they didn't honk. They were waiting patiently to let me reverse and go on my way. And I was really thankful that, and I thought, you know, world is not such a bad place. And people are not that bad in Delhi. So since I'm driving on road, I'm really thinking that, you know, people are good. Earlier, I was not noticing all these small things.
Road rage and you know, rough driving is natural, but in Meenakshi's reality, it doesn't exist, because people wait for her for 5-10 minutes till the time she's reversing in her own sweet time. And like, come on, Meenakshi, no problem, I'll wait for you. In her universe, in her reality, this problem doesn't exist. So because her inner reality says that I will be supported, it manifests so easily, so effortlessly, you know. So that helps us to move now on the next law, which is the law of non-locality. Giving and receiving is not confined to locality, to time and space. Let's look at giving and receiving in relation with time. Today, in this precise moment, I am sharing, right? The reward for my sharing, either I have already received it in the past, or I might receive it in the coming future. When you go to a shopkeeper and you say, give me a packet of noodles, giving and receiving is happening precisely in that time, in that moment, right? Yeah, there's a transaction, take 50 rupees, I take my Maggi noodles, and that's it. It's happening in time and space. But for universe, it happens in non-locality. That is, today if I give you something, not necessarily you have to return back right now. You don't need to pay me back right now. For this giving, I don't receive a reward instantly here and now. Either I have already received it in my past, or in the coming future, somebody might just drop in 10,000 rupees in my bank, in cash or in kind. And giving and receiving doesn't happen locally. So what does that mean? So if I choose to give Rajashri a session, one-on-one session today, she receives it. And not necessarily she gives me back in that moment. Either she, out of her choice, if she feels like I will receive it there and there. If not, she might pay it forward to someone. And through that receiving, the cycle of receiving and giving is complete. So somebody else can receive for my giving. And somebody is giving and I am receiving here. So it is not confined to our individuality, to our personhood. Today I'm giving, maybe Cynthia might receive something in 2 days. Tomorrow Cynthia is giving and Rajashri might receive something. You know, it's like this. This is the larger dynamics. You know, we don't understand the larger play, the bigger picture. We get confined to, you know, our daily giving and receiving and, you know, you're not doing this for me, you're not doing that for me. And we get caught in, we get trapped in that loop. But the whole universe has its own way of functioning. You know, whole our life, we prepared for this interaction. Can you believe it? Since childhood, we were waiting for this moment to be right here. And whole our life was a, you know, like a conspiracy for us to meet here. It was a plan for this moment. So even in my life, you know, like I've noticed that since I was 19, many teachers walk into my life. I never went to a teacher that, you know, hey, you know, teach me. They showed up. And years after years also, many teachers keep walking in, keep walking in. And, you know, if I need something, you know, I was sharing this with a friend the other day that in Jan, much before the lockdown was announced, I told my friend Ananda that I cannot practice the way I am practicing anymore. I cannot do cellular healing therapy. There's something else that wants to come out through me. Something from much more higher space that I would like to share. And he said, so be it, then you trust that process. You know, instead of fighting, you trust it. And then when I trusted that experience, not knowing where I'm going, you know, much before, this was much before Corona was announced. And I told him that, what do? I don't want to do this anymore. And there's a change that is coming up, but I can't see it yet. And he said, you just trust, just surrender. You know? And in that space of surrender, you know, during the lockdown, my teacher invited me to create a abundance deck of cards. So I drew 49 illustrations, drawings that represent, that symbolize abundance. And then I got an invitation to join the Global Abundance Movement. And then today, Meenakshi and I, we are having this, you know, co-creating this space for abundance. What is happening? Why is this message of abundance coming to me from all sources? I could have rushed. I could have, in those 3 months of doing nothing, I could have rushed and created something to get maybe income, to get something. No, my heart said, no, pause, surrender. And because of that process of surrendering, trusting the process of life, it started revealing its magic. It started revealing its beauty. So there are 4 levels of consciousness. First level of consciousness is of victimhood. Why me? Why me? Mere saath aisa kyun ho raha hai? Dwelling in that. Second is manifestation. We all of us have heard about law of attraction. Ask, believe, receive, right? That still involves conscious asking and receiving. So say we feel we need a house, but a higher self, maybe for a higher self, a house is not a requirement. We feel we need a car. Maybe for a higher self, a car is not the need. When we operate from surrender consciousness, we allow universe to express through us. What gift wants to emerge through me is of surrender. And it will always be in direction with our highest good and the highest good of all. And the fourth level of consciousness is of oneness consciousness, where we feel a sense of oneness with everything around us. And in many areas of life, somewhere we might be operating from victim consciousness, like for example, in my health. Or some areas I might be operating from surrender, like in my relationships. So it depends. We might be operating from different levels of consciousness in different areas of life. So this is about the law of non-locality, that giving and receiving is not local in time and space. It can come to you from unknown sources. Magic happens when you're open to receiving that. And next law. So this was which law? I think this was the fifth law. Yeah, is it? Yeah. No, I'm just checking in, like, are you in touch with me? Yeah. Yeah. So the next law is the most beautiful law, and that says that's the law of dharma. All of us are not just here by default. There is a purpose. There is a reason why all of us are here. Many of us ask, why am I here? What am I here to do? So something in us, just by being alive, just by being here present on this planet Earth, our existence is needed. We have to recognize this, that we are not here just by default, not here by coincidence. You are here. The whole existence needs your presence. It needs your own uniqueness to come out into fruition. So, to tune in and check in with ourselves. What gift wants to emerge through me? And it could be as simple as, for some people, maybe singing, maybe creativity wants to emerge through me. Maybe planting avocado, or being a cobbler could be somebody's dharma. Not necessarily, oh, I have to go on a mission to impact 1 million people. Maybe sharing my gift of music is my dharma. Anything. You have to check in with yourself, a inner inquiry is needed. Inner inquiry. And how do I understand what is my purpose? Like I shared earlier, that our past experiences have made us who we are. Something of my purpose is there in my past. If I unravel a little, I will know that all these experiences that I've had from past till today have given me the right learnings, the right insights for my purpose to come forth. Certain people have walked into our lives that have taught us certain lessons, certain learnings, even if they were pain, even if there was like immense pain, there was still that experience was needed for your purpose. And when I claim my purpose, when I take one step in the direction of my purpose and I drop these self-doubts, universe will take 10 steps towards me. If I take one step, universe takes 10 steps towards me. That's the beauty. That's the power. I took one step. Now, from now onwards, I want my sessions to be offered on an intuitive level. I don't know how to do intuitive healing, Great. That's the beauty, because it's more spontaneous. And the number of inquiries that poured in, people from Delhi, Goa, different parts of the world are approaching for sessions. Okay, great. Allowing ourselves to take one step. Of course, there will be fears. Of course, this voice will be there. No, don't do this, What if people don't accept you that way? Or, there's fear. If I come out, if I sing a song and I put it out and people humiliate me. All these voices are there. But despite that, keeping them aside, how can I take the first step? How can I move in that direction of my purpose? That is about law of dharma. You take one step, universe takes 10 steps. You take the second step, universe takes more 20 steps. So begin with tiny baby step, not even one full step. How about taking a half step? Like just lifting my feet up. And that's enough. And there my job gets done. And then I practice law of detachment. So all these laws are always interlinked. It's, they are all interconnected. Which then brings us to the last and the final law, the seventh law, which is about inexhaustibility. The law of inexhaustibility. True wealth is inexhaustible in nature. Resources, however, are inexhaustible. So let's understand what are resources. Petroleum is a resource, right? My clothes, my house is a resource. Anything that can be reduced, can be taken away from you, is a resource. For example, I have 100 rupees and Meenakshi takes 50 rupees. So now 50 rupees are less from my pocket. So money in this term, in this transaction, was a resource. Wealth is something which is inexhaustible. For example, joy, love, kindness, celebration. If I give Ratnabali kindness, if I'm kind to her, if I give hope to her, will my kindness reduce in any way? If I share my creativity with Rajeshri, will I become less creative? No. If I give a big hug to Meenakshi and I express my love, will my love reduce? No. So true wealth is inexhaustible. No matter how much I give, it can multiply, but it can never reduce. It can expand, but it can never reduce. Even money, in some hands, money is seen as wealth. For example, if I invest in somebody's project who is going to touch lives of, say, 10,000, say if I invest in the building phase of a teacher, she now touches lives of 30 students. Those 30 students touch life of 300 people. So any investment in maybe learning something or investing in my children will never be a resource. It will always be wealth. So that is about money. Like, but if I buy a diamond ring, there's a full stop, right? That's it. If I buy a Gucci bag, then there's a full stop. And all of that is okay, all of that is welcomed. But most important question that my teacher had put forth was, which is so like, I feel really touched even by listening and thinking about it. It says, how can I be wealth in somebody else's life today? How can I choose to show up as wealth in somebody's life today? And just stay with that question for a little while. And let it sink in. How can I choose to show up as wealth in somebody's life today? Isn't it powerful? It just breaks us from me, my mind to we. And also, one question that my teacher placed, maybe all of us can check in with ourselves. What is it that I have in abundance in my life? What is it that I have in abundance in my life? That no matter how much I keep sharing, it never gets depleted. So maybe check in with yourself. Take a minute And if you'd like, close your eyes and check in with yourself, tune in and see what is it that I have in abundance in my life. That no matter how much I give, it'll never be depleted. It'll never get exhausted. And whenever the answer emerges, maybe you can type it down in the chat box. What is that one thing? That I have in abundance. Or if you'd like, you can also unmute yourself and share, what is it that I have in abundance?
I think it is courage, Amnish.
I think it is courage. Yes, courage. Beautiful. No matter how much you share courage with others, it will never deplete. Beautiful.
I have kindness.
Sorry?
I have kindness. To be kind.
Kindness. Kind. Beautiful. Beautiful, Cynthia. So let's read some comments from the chat box. Will you please post all the laws of abundance? Yes, we will be posting them. Love, Dr. Radhika says. Ratnabali. Love, kindness, generosity, time. Beautiful. Sharing my experiences and learning. Saundarya. Beautiful. Relationships for Meenakshi. Kindness for Vaishali. Wonderful. I guess Ratnabali is having difficulty unmuting herself. Meenakshi, I can't hear you. Okay. Please try unmuting now. No? Okay. Maybe we'll come back at the end. Yeah. So now we'll do a small process. Ratnabali, are you unmuted?
Yeah, now I could. I also wanted to add strength.
Strength. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So we'll do a small visualization process to really embody this field of abundance. So if you'd like, you can take a comfortable position. I'll just have a little water. And just allow your body to relax. Drop the heaviness from your shoulders. Ease out the thinking mind. And be fully present with the inner space of your body. Giving your body your undivided attention in this moment. And simply allow your body to relax. You can drop all the weight that you're carrying to the base on which you are seated. Being aware that you're held in this moment. Allow the relaxation to now move in every cell of your body. With every breath, the relaxation now deepens. Beautiful. Now in your mind's eye, I'd like to invite you to visualize a sacred sanctuary, a sacred forest, full of richness. Bring that forest to your awareness. You may now visualize yourself being present in that forest. Become aware of the sounds of the birds, the freshness in this environment, the softness of the wind that is touching your body. The aroma in nature. Fully absorb the energy of the forest. And start exploring this forest. And see and find and move around. And you'll notice there'll be a space that calls you. A space that is inviting you to come closer. It could be a water body, a tree, a rock, or it could be a small little rabbit or an animal that invites you to come closer. That spot is your energy spot. That spot is a space where you feel completely aligned with the universal power of abundance. In that space, You can now visualize your heart's deepest desire coming to fruition, whatever it may be, whether it's a loving relationship, whether it's money, financial abundance, whatever it is that you deeply, deeply desire or want. Visualize that taking place right now in this moment, in front of your eyes. Just like a movie is being played, you watch it. Simply observe this reality, your reality of abundance, of fullness, of richness. Feel as if it's happening right now in this given moment. Whether it's the laughter of the children, whether it's the rain, whatever it may be, that is a symbolic expression of abundance to you in your own life. Tune into it. And simply see that reality now merging in your being, as if they are not two separate realities, but they are merging with who you are, with your being. As if you're receiving this reality within you. And observe what are some of the feelings that emerge in this reality. What are the top 2 or 3 feelings that you feel in this space? Notice in which part of the body does this feeling of abundance come naturally to you. Is it your throat? Is it your palms, your heart? Which part of my body right now is resonating with this frequency of abundance? Where it comes to me effortlessly, naturally. If you'd like, you can also visualize a color that represents abundance to you. Wherever this feeling is there in your body, just give it a color. Maybe pink, blue, whatever color comes to your awareness. And allow this color that represents abundance to move in every part of your body, in every cell of your body, from head to toe. Fully feel this energy, fully feel this love, this joy, this peace, this abundance, this richness. See this color moving in every part of the body. And fully stay with it, marinate in this energy for a little while. Beautiful, beautiful. And in this space, if there is one affirmation that is coming up for you, beginning with I am, what would it be? Let it emerge or not emerge. But if there was one affirmation that reinforces this reality, then what would it be? I am. It could be I am love. I am joy in every expression. I am abundance. I am rich in every expression of my life. Simply let it emerge. Don't try to force it. And keep repeating that affirmation like a chant. Beautiful. And when you fully absorbed the essence of this affirmation, of this state of being, when you feel centered in this energy, very slowly at your own pace, you will return back into this moment. Become aware of the space that is around you, the clothes that are touching your body, the base on which you are seated. And very slowly, very gently, you may return back into this experience, right here, right now. So if you'd like, you can unmute, all of y'all can go on unmute. If you'd like to share something that came up today for you, maybe you can have a small check-in with yourself and pause and see if there's something that emerged. Meenakshi, would you like to share something? You're on mute. Yeah.
Actually, I was visualizing myself in a lush green forest, and there was a line, and I was sitting comfortably with that line. Whenever I'm visualizing an animal, the lion is the first one which comes into my visualizations. So I think that comes because I need courage and support, and I find that it's already there. And I was not able to relate to it. But now it is happening very frequently, and I'm seeing examples around me. So it's kind of a validation that I'm supported and courage is there. So I just need to I think manifest in my life. So this is the realization I have. Yeah, it's already there. I just need to
Yeah.
manifest it.
Express it. You know?
Yes.
When we want something, how about we give it? So the minute I start giving courage to someone, when I start offering support to someone, I understand that I already have support in me. It's not something that is lacking. We are whole, complete. So what you shared is really beautiful. Maybe the line is a symbolic expression of courage for you. Wow, great, wonderful. Anybody else? Again, can't unmute. Ratnavali, can you unmute
Yeah,
now?
now I've been able to, I think so. Yeah, I think the walk down in the forest was very beautiful, and I could see a path, a very illuminated path, and there were very tall trees, and actually I couldn't see the head of the trees. And uh, whenever I go to the forest, I always see the deer. It has happened in some previous sessions also. And I saw a lot of butterflies, and I went to a water body. I love water, so I think it automatically comes up. I don't have to visualize it even. Very crystal clear water body where I could see the forest also in the other end. And I do have a dream, and I think all these affirmations came that, yeah, I will be able to do it. Of course, as you said, that, sometimes we are so fearful, and we are just so we are so frightened to take the first step, and you don't know how to take the first step, when to take the first step. Are you ready? When are you going to get ready? I mean, obviously these apprehensions are created by ourselves, but when you see these beautiful visions, I think you are just reconfirmed that yes, you are on the right path, and I think the things will just happen. And the divine always comes in for reassurance, I think. And the rest is, I guess, just to surrender and trust the entire process, and just wait for the door to open, and trust on the universe that someday the door will open as I expect it to open. Navneesh
Ah,
can't hear.
Am I on mute? Okay,
No,
can you
no,
hear
no,
me now?
no.
yes.
Now, yeah.
Trusting is such a beautiful quality. Just by trusting, half of the work is done. Even if we don't practice any of the laws, and if we can simply learn to trust, then that's enough. And actually, that's the core of the 7 laws of abundance: to be in a state of surrender, to not fight with life, to enjoy its unfolding, to have fun with it. Beautiful. Thank you, Ratnavali. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for connecting with you. Thank you so much.
Anyone else would like to share? Are you able to unmute yourself? You have to unmute yourself. From my side, I have already.
Yes, Meenakshi. Hi, Navneesh. Um, yeah, I really feel so calm, poised. I have a pleasant feeling. Yes, I visualized myself being in a lush green forest, sitting there uh, in white cloths. And then I can just feel that the divine light is just falling on me, it is guiding on me. And the radiance is just coming out of myself and just flowing out. I felt so wonderful. And the 7 laws, I noted down as you just went on explaining, for me to reflect on myself, each and every day. Yeah, and also living at the moment, trusting. We all have those fears, the inner fear that comes out and says, no, But today, I just trusted that in this moment it is happening. And that is such an ease, that's such a wonderful ease, I could say. It really made me so calm, not wandering into confusions, doubts, fears. I just feel myself. It's wonderful, Navnish. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. What you said was so profound, you know, it was so beautiful. Um, Even the 7 laws you mentioned, that it's actually a process, you know, little by little, how can we incorporate it in our daily living? And what we want is already within us right now. You know, what we are seeking is already here, available. And that's why, like Meenakshi shared about courage, you know, also, you know, we all are sharing about how we want to move forward despite the fears. So that divinity is already within us. It's not something that we need to get or learn from outside. And that is abundance. You know, when the grass is there, when there's rainfall, there is abundance. When there's modak, you know, amazing sweets that my mom made, there's abundance in that. And, you know, everywhere there is abundance. So much that, you know, I have more than enough. It's just we have to notice it. You know? Just pause and notice. Pause and notice. That's it. Beautiful. Thank you, Saundarya. Beautiful to connect with you after a long time.
Yeah, same here, Navnish.
Yeah. May I share?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the moment I entered the forest, it was a pine forest, and all I could see was a beautiful rainbow. And that was the best thing that was, you know, attracting me towards itself. I could not see anything except the tall trees and the rainbow in it. And yeah, when I was thinking what I want, like whatever I want to do and how abundance feels to me, I could feel energy in my palms. It was a wonderful feeling. And before you even told, okay, please see what is your affirmation coming up, I was already telling to myself, I'm abundance, I'm abundance.
Wow,
So,
wow. So good.
you know, just a flow. That's all. I didn't even have to think anything. It had already come. It was a beautiful experience, and I just want to stay with it. I don't want to give any conclusion to it. I think I have to just go. I am abundance. That's all. And I don't have to seek for anything. It's already there. Thank you.
So inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to share?
I hope you're not facing. Oh, Cynthia. Cynthia, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, does everybody hear me or not?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
I will speak slow because of my accent. Maybe my English is not so good. I realized I had a problem with the loss of echo. I've been fighting my reality. Since I came to South Africa, I've been fighting this. I married with a South African guy. My husband, he's still my husband. But I studied to be a physiotherapist, and I couldn't work as a physiotherapist here. And I've been fighting for 16 years. And now I understand why things have been so difficult. And then thank you to realize that for me today is being, I say one of my abundant things is to be kind, but I'm not kind to myself. And when I was walking on the forest, I started to walk and I was touching flowers, very simple flowers. And then after that, I realized with my right hand, I'm touching the flowers on top, the infinite flowers, and then on my left hand is God. He's walking with me, and then is to realize I'm not being alone. God is so close to me. I only need to accept it. I need to let to like have how you say to trust what he's doing. But today, for 16 years, for the first time, I realized what I was doing wrong, and it's like taking I don't know how many pounds of weight of things on my shoulders. And thank you so much. Really, thank you. And yeah, I think 2 weeks ago I had a very bad car accident. The car was ripped off. People don't understand how I didn't being very ill at the hospital, and everything. How you say is for a reason we are here today. And if I was knowing that accident, I know for sure I didn't have the time to be here today. And I'm so, it's not that I'm grateful I was in a car accident, no, not like that, but I'm so grateful I was needed to be stopped so strong to listen today. And it's not only for me, because what we change, we will give. I'm like that. I'm a giver, a natural giver, but now I understand why I was needed to be stopped so strong, to be able to listen. Thank you so much. Really, thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. You know, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your truth with all of us. You know, it takes courage to share your inner reality, and I'm very happy to hear you. So thank you so much. Hello.
Wonderful, very beautiful. What I liked the best that you shared just now with Meenakshi was that if you start giving courage, you'll realize that you have it within you and you'll be able to utilize it more. So I think that was a very lovely reminder that we all have it within us. And the more we start giving, we'll realize that we have it within us. So we won't feel that we don't have it. And the meditation was beautiful. For me, you remember we went to, in September, the waterfall and the river and the jumping that we did. Yes. So that's the place where I went, and it was very serene and beautiful. And it felt abundant just being there. It was like, and with so many people around you who just love you, even if they don't know you, the unconditional giving and of love that you have, that made me feel that, well, there's nothing more to ask. You already have it. So the affirmation also was your abundance, and there is love. So it was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So should we close, or are we missing out?
Navneesh, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. We are not able to do, or yeah.
Yes, great. So, should we close the session for today then? If all of you feel complete, and then we'll just check in quickly with yourself, and if one word emerges within, what am I feeling right now? Just quickly check in. Whenever the word emerges, feel free to share it. For me, it's immense.
Voice is
Can you
low.
hear me? Meenakshi?
Voice is low.
Can you hear me? Voice is low. I don't know what do I do for voice is low. Can you now hear me?
Yeah, you're audible. Please continue.
Okay. So maybe all of us can share what is it that they checked in and what came up for them. Okay, here Radhika says joy, deep gratitude, peace. Vaishali, I feel content. Beautiful. Giving, Ratnabali. Saundarya, happiness. Thank you everyone for coming for today's session, and thank you Meenakshi for beautifully holding this space. This was my first time, doing this something like that, like a webinar. I have not done it before. It was a new experiment, but it felt more homely. Like I said, it was more like all my friends are here, and now let's explore and talk and experiment. So I'm very grateful to all of you. So thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone. We could do it because you supported us. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hug. Lots of love and abundance to all of you. Bye. See you. Unmute. You want to?
Yeah.
Ratnabali, do you want to unmute yourself? Ratnabali wants
Navneesh wanted to tell you that this is so wonderful. Thank you so much. And what a beautiful path you've taken, and you've inspired so many of us. I'm sure you definitely inspired me. From the day I met you, you've inspired me. So thank you. It was really wonderful and beautiful to connect with you. Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you so much. I hope we'll meet up again very soon.
Yeah, actually Vishali is saying that can we have more such sessions? So I thought, why not? Let's check with Navneesh.
You have much to give, Navneesh, and we are here to receive.
and I'm here to receive all the love from you.
Of course.
And if you feel something you want to share later on, feel free to email on C2B Coach. We'll collect the sharings, and if something comes to Navneesh, she'll reply back.
Okay.
We'll be sending the recording of this video through email. So you'll receive it. Maybe we can share the link, right? The YouTube
Yes.
link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye
Thank you so
for now.
much. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.